And welcome back to another episode of Great Scott Marcus. This will be episode 29 unless something happens and it gets lost. And this is my bird, and he's here to kind of keep up my happiness level because I just kind of feel like I need it lately. Mark, it's been a week. How you doing?
It has been a week. This is one of the first time in a while where we've done week to week in a minute, but not doing. Yeah, I'm sorry to spoil it, but next weekend it won't happen.
It happens. Like I said, we enjoyed doing this, but it's not like our big, draw for the channel. It's
right.
It's just something fun we do, and we enjoy doing it, and it's just kind of like a personal thing that we do.
Something
words
supplemental and gets our voice. I mean, I really haven't said words at all today, so
yeah.
This is, I think, the first time I've heard my own voice.
So anyway, this is Great Scott Marcus here on Ramble Entertainment on YouTube. I'm Scott, and that one's Mark, and this is where we get together and we have conversations. We have conversations about things like getting organized, or Milo Yiannopoulos Puffaluffagus Stop and Shop, and we also talked about like doing good things. That's been our motto for a long time, and finally we talked about that. And since we're on that real quick, two of our rambles that we do here in episode 29 will be posted in episode 28 instead, because they are more timely. We're going to be talking about Milo Yiannopoulos. I actually literally don't actually know how to pronounce his
I think
last
it's
name,
actually just Yiannopoulos or Yiannopoulos. I think that's about it.
Anyway, and then
nobody cares.
NASA has discovered a star, a 40 light year away star with 7 Earth-likes orbiting it, or potentially 7 Earth-likes. It's hard to actually prove these things, but they get pretty darn close with as far as what we can do with proving these things. And so let's move you up here because my arm is getting tired. And so he's going back onto the chair, probably gonna poop on the chair. Hopefully I don't lean back while we're talking here. So those, when it comes to timely things like that, we will kind of interrupt an episode that we'll be post those, and then the remainder of that episode will post the following week, unless there's something else timely that needs to be covered. Yeah. Anyway, getting right into it, unless you really had something you wanted to share out of your week, Mark.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Not too much going on in the world. Well,
it's like when you're small talking with someone and you're just like, how's it going, and you say good, or they respond good, or it's just like, it's okay, or what's going on, not much, but it's just like, oh man, there's a fucking shit ton going on. But it's just like, that's not small talk, that's not work talk. It's just like, when it comes to small talk, it's just like, keep it small talk, unless like there might be intent there to actually have a conversation. Are you screaming?
He wants attention, man.
He's going through a screaming phase where he'll just make these screaming noises. They're not
like a 2-year-old.
They're not like bad, but it's just kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? So this is the first time he's been down here when I've been recording. Actually, we tried this one other time, but Louie just he was too into everything. But we're gonna give this a shot because he was whining because he didn't want to be in his cage, and I am just fucking Anyway, we might get into that another time. Getting organized, Mark. You wanted to bring this up. Pretty nonchalant ramble we got going on here, so let's go ahead and get into it.
I don't exactly remember what brought this up earlier this week when we were talking. Maybe it was what I actually just told you about earlier, how I kind of reconfigured my desk a little bit that I'm currently sitting at. It's kind of funny because last week we did discuss I think motivation, that kind of thing, and I was talking about how hard it was for me to kind of sit down and work in some software and try to beef up my portfolio. Well, on last Monday, I tried doing that. I sat down at my desk. I'm like, this isn't fucking working. Like, I had my spare monitor like 10 inches away. It was just not in the right spot. Like, I'm used to looking to the right, and there was a part of my desk that was inhibiting that. So I was like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm doing this now. And it worked out well. Like, I've got my own little zen area of my desk. It looks good. It feels right. And this week I've actually been working in the software I've been trying to work on. So
this episode is not sponsored by Snapple, just so we're clear.
So yeah, I like to see the progress, I like seeing that taking action. And maybe if anyone follows us along and sees that, like, it can be done. You can organize yourself and you can proceed to the next step. I just
organization is this kind of weird, I want to say misnomer, but that wouldn't be accurate because it's like this thing that can go either way. Sometimes you think, like, if I just get organized, like, that is the path, but it's just like, no, right. It's almost like the flip of a coin. Some
people are very, like, chaotically organized, and if they want to call it that, like, I've seen people's kind of offices and desks.
I'm kind of like half and half, where, like,
really?
This desk is pretty darn organized right now, but, like, for the past week it's just been in disarray with shit all over it. And not literal shit. I don't there's a bathroom right around the corner, but it's just like,
but it could be bird shit.
No, it's not bird shit. He actually I have him we have him trained, and when he's down here, if I put him on the arm of the chair when he needs to go, he'll just poop. And then I wipe it up off the, there's a plastic liner underneath the chair, so that way it's not going right down onto the carpet.
Good deal.
And so, when it comes to organizing itself, I just feel like that it can often be a bit of a misnomer. Like, oh, if I just make my bed and get my room organized, like, I'm going to get this paper done or some shit like that. And I think, for me, it's kind of a 50-50 kind of thing, where it's just like, maybe if I clean up, I'll feel organized. But not always.
Yeah.
And but as far as, like, organization goes, I definitely appreciate it more than, being a person who is like, let them do their own thing. We've talked.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
He does that. Yeah, he'll just fucking do that. And
pay attention to me, fucker.
Pretty much. So, like, going back to, like, having roommates, like, as far as my disarray goes, I keep it to myself. I know that, one, it's in a space that almost no one is going to see or interact with given a during week, and like, that's also important to me, that, like, at the very least, the presentation, what people see typically is, for me, organized and clean. At the same time, like, it's kind of weird, maybe for someone like you, like, that's hard to hit the nail on the head with, because I know you've kind of just been dating, so I don't know how often people are really coming over for you. But in my mind, like, for you, probably not often. Probably go 2 to 3 weeks at a time without anyone even stepping in.
Oh yeah, easily.
So like, for me, I would definitely, like, shit, like, I should have cleaned this pot, like, last week, but no one is messing with the kitchen. However, in my mind, what I would like to be right now as far as organization is concerned, let's go ahead and flip you over and play with you. As far as organization is concerned, I'd like to believe that if I had a kitchen of my own now, that I would keep it a lot more clean. Yes, there were those instances where, like, a pot or a pan would sit until I was ready to, all right, scrub it. He wants to be on the camera, apparently.
Does he see himself in the monitor, maybe?
No, I don't think so, because monitors display at so many frames per second, whereas the world displays itself at a more consistent rate. Birds probably have a different frame of reference for what they see time
Perhaps,
in. So the chances of him actually interpreting what's actually on the monitor is probably pretty low.
Yeah.
Wow, that was pretty academic. We're gonna get to that in a second. But yeah, like, I guess if that's what comes to my mind. Like, if I had a place of my own, that probably would be a problem every now and then, where it's just like, I've left this laundry clean, but sitting here, ready to just be hung up and just like take like 20. Do you have to go get your laundry?
No, I actually I've got some shirts in my drawer that have been there for about a week now.
Exactly. Like it's just like it's not interrupting anyone,
Right,
but at the same
exactly.
time there is a measure of disarray there. And it's just and now you have to probably get one of those shirts wet, toss it back in the dryer so that the moisture unwrinkles the rest of the shirts.
You would think I would do that considering how weirdly organized I am, especially like when it comes to like my laundry.
Do you
But I
iron
don't.
all of them?
I don't iron anything.
So how do you stay so wrinkle free?
I don't know.
Weird, because I would think that sitting in the dryer just without being touched for a week, you're
Yeah.
basically like
You would think.
weird.
Huh.
What
Well,
I
like all my like long sleeve shirts I hang up, so maybe that has something to do with those being wrinkle free. Like this shirt was not ironed, so I don't know.
odd. What I do, my technique for unwrinkling shit is basically I just get like a pair of pants. You just you take your hand, you stick it under the faucet, and you just pat down the pants a couple of times. Then you toss them in. The moisture helps to unwrinkle them in like 20 minutes. So
Nice.
I highly recommend that. But yeah. So like, I guess those are really my thoughts right now on organization. I think there is kind of this. What I want to say is, yeah, that was a feather, not poop. Good. Uh, there's been this kind of demotivation. And now he's knocking Steven over. It's bird versus bird.
No.
And yeah, there's been this kind of demotivation around like getting shit done for the channel. It's not that I don't want to do shit for the channel. It's just that I have had other things going on in my life with the computer crashing. That has also been kind of just like I'm leery. I am a bit too leery about approaching these new hard drives and things like that, and that's not entirely necessary. But all right, stop attacking Steven. Stop attacking Steven. And yeah, so let's go up here. You can scream, whatever. And so yeah, like I don't know. It is an organization. Things are nice and organized on the computer right now. In fact, I reorganized the Great Scott Marcus file to get things more organized. But yeah, so organization for me didn't do it. I'm glad it did for you though.
Yeah, man, it definitely does help, and it's kind of funny. I was remembering back when I was doing like the pre-med bullshit, when I had to sit down and like study for finals or whatever. I cleaned the absolute shit out of my apartment before I could sit down and study. 'Cause it felt like in the part of my brain, I'm like, oh, what else can I procrastinate with? Oh, my kitchen's dirty. Oh, my bathroom's dirty. And it's like, all right, there's literally nothing else to do. Like then I would sit down and do whatever task I had to do, and it's kind of like, it's kind of like that with this little space. I was like, I wasn't happy with it, so I made a change, and it seems to be working okay. I was actually, in fact, working on that before we started recording today. So,
yeah,
good stuff.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
Well, then let's go ahead and get into the next two rambles that, as I mentioned, we'll post with episode 28. Excuse me. Whoops. All right.